have gone straight in with an intro for this one, but I've been listening to the soundtrack of Clair Obscur Expedition 33 and I want to show it love. Let's all show it some love because it's a phenomenal soundtrack. But the subject of today's video, of course, is the Platinum Trophy, because I've got the Platinum Trophy. We're going to talk about it. How was it? How long did it take? Is there any missables? And just the overall thoughts and vibes of it for those that may be chasing it. If not, that's all right. No worries there. So with that all being said, what is up, guys? Jen here. Hope you're all doing well. Welcome back to the channel. Got you covered the timestamps down below because I'll probably have the trophy list, maybe. I don't know how I'm going to work it, but it'll be down there regardless, just in case you want to look for a certain thing. All I ask is you to support the channel and hit the thumbs up button. And if you want to stick around for some more content, then please consider hitting that subscribe button. So how long did it take? Well, if I move myself just here, it says I've played this for 133 hours. It's not how long it takes. Don't worry about that. It does not take that long. It took me around 60 hours, 65 hours, give or take. Just a few overcomings of certain boss battles that were probably the longer ones, and looking for things that were lost. Because I played this before release, there were no guides to follow. So I was like a lost puppy trying to gather everything before the launch. And I managed to get the trophy on the launch of the game, I believe, or I did it the day before. I can't remember. But are there any missables? There are a couple of missables, and all you need to know is on the first section of the game, you need to fight the mime that you'll find, and also you want to make sure you get the old key from the expedition celebration after the gamage. I don't know why it is a celebration, but the expeditioners are about to go on and you can use a token to get an old key. You'll then use that in old Lumina to then get a journal, and I think that'll be about it. I think there's just one choice for Maelle's relationship: simply do not lie, and you are going to be assured that trophy. So what we're going to do is, now that I think I've set all the bases, and any questions, of course, leave them down below. We're going to, these are already sorted on earned date, so we're just going to go through it. Some of these are story trophies, so you won't need to worry about it, but some of them are not story related trophies, and I'll kind of give you how I achieved what I achieved. So, time to spill some ink, break an enemy, very self-explanatory. You'll get a tutorial about this and you probably end up doing it and you'll get it. Overcharge. With Gustav, use a fully charged overcharge that breaks an enemy. Just moving my head so I can actually read it there. Again, very easy. Once you use these characters, a lot of these are going to be quite natural. And the way I approach this game is I didn't look at the trophy list until I rolled credits. So technically I could have missed a few things, but I didn't. I rolled the credits and went back on my final save game, and I was lucky enough to get them all. The way I approach trophies nowadays is I like to just play the game, not look at the list. And if I truly like what the game's offering and I want more, then I'll open up that list and see what I need to do. Obviously, if it's something like really missable, I'll just hold my hands up and be like, okay, I've not got time for it. But if it's a game like this, which I'm absolutely loving, and I want more trophies and more things to find, then I'm always all in. So the third trophy I got was a peculiar encounter. Defeat the mime in Lumina. Now, obviously, I've mentioned this is a missable, but if you get this, not only do you get this trophy, but you set up for the music trophy that we'll be talking about in a little while. So make sure you don't miss that. Paint cage. This is something that you're going to naturally come across. Very easy to obtain. You'll get it probably in the same order that I'm getting it in here. Weapon upgrade. Like most things, this will come very natural to you. Very hard not to miss. Lumina, self-explanatory. You'll get it naturally. Synergy. With Maelle, use Pierce on a marked enemy while in virtuose stance. You will fall into her rotation of skills quite naturally, so you'll get that quite easily. Curious is using the option to watch the optional scenes. So whenever you're at the campfire, there might be an option saying catching up with the others, or just go check on the others. That's all you need to do, and you'll get some optional scenes. Not only is it going to add to the story, which is an incredible narrative as a whole, these things add to it, but you get to pop that trophy. Be professional. This is where I think I just got this easily. I think it might have been against Francois, or maybe there was a boss afterwards that I went against. Or maybe it was against one of the chromatic enemies. Do you know the one that's right at the beginning in the Abbess nest? The dodging patterns are very easy to manage. It's a long battle early on in the game, but the dodging and the parrying is very, very easy once you know the patterns. So that's when I got it. You can see here the percentage at the moment is 18.7, so a few other people may have got this just by accident, and I'm sure a lot of people will, but use the chromatic enemies. I think is where it's possible to do it the most. Maximisation, I have just struggled to say this word, so hopefully I did it justice there. With Sciel, consume 24 tel on a single target during the twilight. Very easy to do. She has the skill straight off the bat for you to get that. I think there is a weapon you get that doubles 4 tel. Use that weapon. I can't remember it off the top of my head, but there is a weapon that doubles it. Make sure you're in Twilight, use it all. Boom, trophy. And Perfection, this is with Verso, reach rank S. As soon as you start using Verso, you'll know how his mechanic works, and you should probably get this within the first couple of battles of you using him. Wheel control with Monoco, cast an upgraded skill 4 turns in a row. So essentially what you want to do is each time you use one of Monoco's abilities, it will roll the wheel round. Once that wheel rolls round, for example, if you start off on balance and you use a balanced attack that has an enhancement and then it goes to agile, make sure that the next skill you have is an agile related skill. Best way to use this is to make sure you've got low AP abilities but one of each mask, and then you'll hit it pretty easily. But I got this quite naturally without going out of my way to do it. Now this one, just simply called Sciel, is reaching the level 7 relationship. Each character has one of those, which we'll go over, but Sciel's probably the easiest to reach. Plane, Train, and Submarine. You want to discover all of Esquie's abilities. If you are doing all of the relationship scenes at the campsite, I don't know if it's his final one or if it's his 5 to 6 relationship quest, but you'll get the rock so you can go underwater. But as you can see, the next trophy that pops up here is Esquie, which is reaching the relationship level 7. Gestral Games, win all of the Gestral Games. You've got Gestral beaches all over the shop. First one being a very simple platformer. Next one being a very frustrating volleyball game, which I've seen a lot of people have trouble with. The only tip I could have for you is when you get to that final stage, once you get the timing between each one down, you just need to make sure you're facing the right direction, and it should be pretty easy. And then you've got the one that's that monstrous tower, and then there's the last one, which I feel I got by luck, because you are having to climb this ladder, but you have these blue balls running down, and if it hits you, you go all the way down to the bottom. I find myself in a position where it stopped. I don't know how. I don't know if it's because I got close to the top and the game thought I got to the top, but I actually got hit last second, but they stopped and I managed to get to the top. And essentially in game, you'll get in swimsuits for all the characters, but do it all, you get this trophy. Monoco, the relationship quest, very easy to get through. Lune, again, level 7. Maelle is the tough one because in her final one, you have a choice. You can either tell her the truth or you can lie. If you lie, you don't reach this level and you will not be getting this trophy. But if you tell her the truth, which you want to do because it adds to the overall narrative, you'll pop the trophy, no problem. Chroma Proficiency, use a level 3 gradient attack. You will unlock all this level 3 gradient attacks by hitting level 7 with all of the relationship quests, so it'll all fall naturally. Fill up your gradient bar, use a gradient attack, boom, trophy. Carreau, Parafait. I can't pronounce things very well, I've probably butchered that and I apologize, but I got the trophy. You want to beat the chromatic tank, you'll find it on the world map and you have to get it to a certain place, and this can be quite a frustrating fight because it spawns other little ones that you would have come across in the game. Some of them require very particular things to do to them. One has balls that you need to shoot to do damage to it, one of them you have to break its defense, etc, etc. The way I did it is I did this when I was starting to get very powerful, especially with Maelle. If you want any combat tips, I'm going to have to point you in the direction of Blitz. I'll throw his channel link down in the description. He's going over all the characters at the moment, how to break them and do insane numbers. Follow those and you probably won't have a trouble with any of the boss fights that I'm going to be talking about throughout this video. Aeon beat the Serpent, which is a flying snake in the sky. You'll see it as soon as you start being able to fly. Again, this is a very frustrating boss because this likes to take AP, so I made sure that I had a lot of things that replenish AP as soon as possible, and then just did as much damage as I could. Weapon Mastery, fully upgrade a weapon. Ironically, the max level for a weapon is level 33. You will need a perfect chrome stone. I can't remember what they're called off the top of my head here, but you'll get them naturally doing some of the endgame stuff. Level the weapon up to level 32, use that at level 33 and you're all good. If not, you'll get this very easily playing New Game Plus. Clea is a secret boss. If I remember correctly, you have to defeat 4 different monsters to then be able to get to her. I don't know if I'm mixing that up with another dungeon, but it's essentially a super boss. It's all pending on your skills, reading the attacks, doing the dodges, doing the parries, and just doing the damage overall. Noir et Blanc. Solve the painting workshop mystery. You'll see picture frames throughout your playthrough. You probably will reach 2 before you get to the end of the game. The final one is when you can have the ability to fly and essentially going against another buffed up version of the Lamp Master. I found it very easy. I beat it in a couple of turns, but it is a nice little side quest and a little super boss for you if you want it. Sprong. Beat Sprong. Once you have the ability to swim, you will see this monster just perusing through the water, going out for a little swim. You may think, oh, I'm going to see what that boss is about. Pretty intimidating, pretty hard hitting. But again, as you can see that these trophies have come later in my trophy list. This is just because I was just that damn powerful and beat it in just a couple of turns. Feat collection. Monoco's skills. I love this. The best way to do this is if you want to backtrack when you get Monoco and get some of the feat that you can find on the world map and previous dungeons, you can do that. But a majority of them, if not all of them, you can grab doing the Endless Tower. So something to look out for while you're doing that. The Endless Tower is a dungeon where you have 12 stages, but each stage has 3 enemies, which are reused bosses that have been more powerful. This is why you get to be able to do the feat collection trophy quite naturally with this one. Have a bit of patience, go through this. Some of them are hard hitting. Like most things in Clair Obscur Expedition 33, just want to get them timings down, but if you've got the builds right and you are hitting some almighty damage, you shouldn't have a problem with Endless whatsoever. Aiding the enemy, finish all of the Neveron quests. This took me a while to find the last Neveron quest because I didn't go to Frozen Hearts, which is an optional area once you get to Monoco Station. I believe there is a NPC there that sends you on a quest to find some endless ice or something like that. Essentially, in each dungeon, you'll notice a white Neveron of some sort, and it will have you have a task. And then once you've done that task, you will get an item. These essentially are you completing those quests. Afterwards, you do have the option to then fight them. In my first playthrough, I chose not to because I was like, you know what? These guys are nice. I've done the quests. I'll let them live. New Game Plus playthrough I'm going through, I'm annihilating them. I'm just beating anything left, right, and center. But I don't know if that is part of the trophy requirement. So if you are doing this, don't kill any of those white Neverons because you might not be aiding the enemy at all, and this trophy will not pop. Connoiseur, find the 33 music records. Again, this is where it's missable because if you don't beat that mime at the beginning of the game, you will not get this trophy until you complete the game again because it doesn't stack on New Game Plus. Everything resets, including all of your journals as well. So the way this is, I didn't follow a guide for this. I found them naturally. They're out on the world map. Secret bosses, drop them, and you find a lot of them quite naturally. Make sure you go back to Stonewall Cliffs after shenanigans happen where Gustav was last standing, because that's where you get the Gustav track, and you should be able to get it no problem. But at the same time, I'm sure once this gets out and once time goes on, there'll be guides that you can follow quite easily. Lost Gestrals. I was losing my mind with this because again, I had no guide to follow. I didn't know where to look for them, but these are all littered across the world map. You will find them quite naturally, but there is one that was very frustrating and I had no idea it was. I scoured the world map 3 times, obviously not scoured it quite enough because that last Gestral that I was after was on a platform, a floating island right next to the Endless Tower, but that was why this trophy in my mind was so late in the list because I didn't know where that last one was, but guides will obviously mitigate and make that time less costly. Peace at last. Beat Simon. Simon is the ultra secret boss in the game, and this guy, well, he has 3 phases. The first phase I got down to a T. I think a lot of people will find the first phase quite easy. As soon as I started dealing the damage and know what to parry, and I was dishing it out. Plus Maelle's Gamage and her, I think it's called Steinerhald or something like that, her Ultra Void attack. You can do the first phase really easily. It's the second phase which is quite annoying because not only does he have 2 new attacks, but his old attacks have doubled. So when he would do like a slash slash slash, it'll be like slash 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 slash, if that makes sense to every it sounded silly when I was saying it then, but essentially that's how that works. And you really need to be on your A game. His new attacks are quite unpredictable. My best advice is to just listen for the sound cues, which really help out. Turn the music off, just listen to the sound cues, close your eyes. You should be parrying no problem. I thought I had it in the bag, but he has a secret third phase of which you can bypass, and I'll go to that in a second. But his third phase, what he likes to do is he will get rid of your team. You got no way of avoiding it. He will dismiss the expedition is what it says, and you'll have to play your backup team. My backup team I didn't really use, so every time he did that I was like, well, I'm not going to be able to beat this boss because I just don't have the damage power. It's not working. And the longer you do the Simon boss, the more I lost my coordination when it comes to the dodging. So that third phase really screwed me up because not only did we have the double attacks in the last phase, it's now triple attacks, and I'm going to try and demonstrate it. So when it was slash 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 slash, it's now slash 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 slash. If that makes any sense. It sounds silly, but that's essentially what it is. The way I managed to do this is that his third phase starts when he hits that last quarter of his health. So I tried to get his health as close as I could and then put in as much critical and much power into Maelle, ready for her attack, using either her gradient attack Gamage or using the Steinerheld attack, which I've probably pronounced wrong, but the really powerful void damage attack, and then boom, I bypassed that phase. He was beaten, and I was a very, very happy man. Next up, Perfect Flow. I think this is an obvious one that I didn't use Lune as much as I should have, or at least I didn't do this. Consume 4 stains turns in a row. Essentially, if you use her basic attacks and do a little rotation with it, you'll get the trophy very easy. I did this on a random enemy out on the world map. The next one here, Follow the Trail. Find all of the journals from prior expeditions. I had 2 more that I needed. You do get other journals as well that are not related to the expeditions. So for example, Simon, who we just talked about, has one, and there's a few unknown, and even Verso has one as well. I don't know if that counts towards this one because it says journals from prior expeditions, but I did get all of them, including the numbers. The best way to tell what you're missing is, this is me without a guide by the way, is the expedition flags that you have the checkpoints throughout the game. The number that's on there, usually the corresponding journal will be in that area somewhere. So if you are missing one, have a look back through the areas, look at the flag number and bounce between some of the areas you might have missed. But I think this is one of those where there will be a list online and be very achievable. Then we have the last 2 trophies, Survivor and of course the Platinum. Survivor reached level 99. There is a place in Renoir's drafts that I decided to do. I think you'll be able to get this even easier if you do New Game Plus, because of the experience gain you get in New Game Plus is quite considerable. But there are 2 mini bosses that can be respawned in Renoir's drafts called Creation. One of them has 2 of them. One of them has a creation and another enemy. I did the creation and the other enemy just because I could get through that fight faster. I spent a couple of hours doing that and I managed to get to level 99. I think by the end of getting all these trophies, naturally, I was like level 92. So it was just the final stretch and then I got it. And then of course we popped the platinum. And if we have a look, this is probably me getting the thing. You can see this is where I was farming here. These are the enemies that I was on about, but there we go. I did it, and there we have it. Look, level 99, trophy got, and I don't have to look back. So that's how that was all working, and that is kind of my, not trophy guide, it's kind of like a trophy discussion. Any questions, let me know down below. Have you got the platinum trophy? Tell me your times, how long it took you, the struggles and everything else in between. I'll be very interested to hear it, but I appreciate you all, and until next time, I'll catch you on the flip side.